Hi guys, so I'm back today with another video. This time I'm going to really quickly talk about the lazy girl's guide to getting through NYSC. As you all know, NYSC, or for some of you that don't know, it's a program that is mandatory here in Nigeria in order for you to work. You first have to go through NYSC after you finish college or grad school or whatever, like before your first real job. So everyone has to go through it if you're a Nigerian citizen. And so I did my NYSC last year, and I had some really funny experiences. So I just wanted to talk to you about the lazy girl's guide to getting through NYSC camp. My dad wanted me to have like a full, well-rounded NYSC experience. I never went to boarding school in high school. I grew up in the US, and I didn't go to boarding school there either. And I wasn't really keen on going to camp. Like, most of my friends didn't stay in camp, or in the past they hadn't done camp. And I was fully prepared to not be in camp, because you have to do camp before you start your full NYSC program. And so I had to be very, very creative in dodging the camp experience. And I don't know, this is not like to tell you what to do, but this is just to share with you some things that I did that got me through camp, even though I didn't stay the whole time. But it was funny and helpful for me. So, all right. Let's get into it. First thing is, if you don't want to be there, you don't have to be there. I don't know if this applies to other camps, but in Lagos, they're always overcrowded, especially when I got there. It was pretty overcrowded. So they were actually like, I checked in maybe like 2 or 3 days after the initial check-in process. And so, like, if you told them you didn't want to stay in camp, they were fully fine with that. They were like, fine, go home, which is great. So if you don't want to stay in camp, you really don't have to stay in camp. Even when I left, it was really funny because I stayed for a few days and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And so I just wrote, I guess you have to apply to leave. And I said that I was just having extreme migraines. And that's what got me out of camp. So better try that. But for my friends in other states, it's going to be very difficult for you to leave camp. It's going to be extremely difficult. You have to have some kind of crazy excuse. I know a girl whose mom came to camp with her, and it took a lot for them to give her an excuse to leave camp. So just be aware of that. All right, number 2. Okay, so apparently there's a 4 a.m. wake-up call. I think it's 4 a.m. I don't know really, because I never woke up at that time. Because I stayed in the infirmary half of the time I was there. And in the infirmary, or in the sick room, whatever you want to call it, it was so beautiful because generally in rooms for NYSC camp, you might have like, God knows how many bunk beds in a room. Maybe like you could have 30 people in a room, and the beds are like this close together. And I was not keen to do that. So I stayed in the infirmary because they had no space for me my first day in camp. And I really loved it because there were only, I think, about 7 or 8 of us in the infirmary. Like, we had so much space. There was so much room to sleep. I didn't share a bunk bed with anyone, so I stayed on the top bunk because there was more air in the room when you stayed on the top bunk. So, and also, like, when they wake people up at 4 a.m., they run through the rooms and shake you to wake you up to go and march. And I didn't have to experience that because they never went into the infirmary because they assumed you were sick, but I wasn't sick. So that's another way to get out of NYSC, or just to skate your way through if you want to skate your way through. The third thing is throw away your outfit every day. I bought, because in NYSC camp, let's just call it an all-white party, just not crack because it's not that fancy, but basically you wear all white throughout your entire camp period, except like maybe for certain occasions. So you have to wear like a white shirt with white shorts with white keds or plimsolls, is that what people in England call them? Yeah. And white socks, and it's not a sexy look. It never has been, and it never will be. And it gets so dirty because I did my NYSC camp during dry season, and it's dusty and windy, and people were out here in these, I kid you not, like day 2 they were washing their whites, and I was just looking at them like, it's not gonna be me. I didn't come to camp to wash clothes, so I just bought enough white stuff that I could just chuck it when I was done. Yeah, that's wasteful, but I was not in the mood to be washing clothes. Hand washing clothes in NYSC camp, that was just not for me. No, so you can go and throw away those clothes. Alright, so number 4 might show that I'm a little bit of a lush, but number 4 is that Mommy Market was made for drinking and cards. Okay, so I really didn't march much, and I spent a lot of time in Mommy Market because, look, in NYSC camp, all you do is you're around people all day. You don't bring a lot of things because you don't want things stolen, so you walk around with a fanny pack on with all of your like valuables inside. Like I kept my my phone, my ID, my ATM card, anything that you don't want stolen that you have to have with you, because you need cash when you're in camp. You gotta eat, you gotta do things. And so yeah, like there's not much to do. Okay, like you can buy books when you're in camp, like there are activities, but you also have to deal with like marching and running away from that if you're like me. And so Mommy was a great place to hang out, to hide out, to chill with people. I met some guy that I interned with like a few years before, and his friends and my friend, and we were just hanging out in Mommy. We played like so many fun card games. It was actually pretty fun. I discovered Origin, which is an amazing drink. And yeah, it was a good time. So like that's where I spent most of my days in Mommy Market. And that's also where people eat dinner. Like they have like every night there is a club. At night it turns into a nightclub, a hookup spot. People like have whirlwind romances in camp. So Mommy Market is where you will have your entertainment. I just sat there and I people watched because at the time I had a boyfriend, and or he was my boyfriend, now my fiance. So I wasn't there to like meet people, but I swear to you, people are there to meet husbands. They're there to lock down relationships. So yeah, if you're single and you're looking to mingle, Mommy or NYSC camp might be for you. I don't even think if I was single it would be for, well, I don't know. If it's for you, it's for you. And then my last is, okay, pick sanitation duty if you just want to chill. Like every day you're supposed to get a task. I think you have a number, like you're in a number group. You know what? I really don't remember camp much because I really didn't participate in it much. If you want to slide through camp, that's how you get through. But yeah, so I got sanitation duty, and what was great about that is like you're expected to go and pick up trash and put it in your bag and all of that stuff, but for some reason I was never watched during my sanitation duty. So I really just chilled, maybe walked around a little bit so that people could see that I was walking around with a bag, and then I'd go into Mommy and hang out with my friends for a bit, and then go back around, take like a lap around the camp, and then like go back to Mommy and chill and hang out. So yeah, that's the lazy girl's guide to getting through NYSC camp. But I mean, you can go full throttle, you can do all the programs, do a pageant, do the most beautiful girl in camp, or like hottest guy or whatever. I mean, they actually do have like some great programs. Like if you want to learn how to do makeup or make bags, like there are actually activities for you to do. But I chose the lazy girl's guide to getting out, and I left quite early from my migraine. And so yeah.